Okay, so coming to the next question is the series. This is going to be a short one. Basically, the question is, as a cloud architect, have you heard of immutable infrastructure provisioning? Please explain the concepts, real life use cases, if any. Also explain pros or cons with respect to earlier practices or existing practices. So this is something that I ask to potential cloud architects that I want to onboard to my team to try to understand their overall idea of this new kind of things and this cloud architecture landscape and this cloud native landscape. So it's very important to understand whether these guys are at par with what is happening in the industry, what is happening around them. Do they really work on the latest cloud technologies? Do they have these ideas? Even if they have not implemented it, do they have the idea? That is very important. So a very, very good article to go through this is this one. I have also shared some other articles also. See, this is by Adrian Hornsby. He's from the AWS EC2 team. Okay, so this is a very long and very detailed article. And another very, very good video, okay, that you can listen for understanding the concept is this one. This is from HashiCorp CTO and co-founder. Um, Armand Detka. This is a very nice video for on 12 minutes. I might have heard it, I don't know how many times. So basically, the idea is normally what used to happen till now, okay, is that for example, if I have a virtual machine, right, say a Linux VM, I SSH into the VM. Say tomorrow somebody tells me, can you add my username to the VM? I go into the server. All Linux admins will log into the VM and then update something. I might say, can you please install Python for me? Somebody will go and install Python for me. And whatever they are doing, nobody's documenting. Normally, documentation is not that good in most enterprises, right? And even startups. So what is basically happening? Say I started with a server, okay, and on day zero. After 1 year, I have something completely else, and I don't know what has happened between day zero and day one. Okay, so now let say for example, my boss asked me to create another server similar to this server. Okay, but I don't know what has happened. I don't know what has happened of all this. So this is a very problematic. This is one of the big problems. Okay. Also, say for example, I have an issue in this server. Okay, I will have to log in and I have to try to understand what is the problem because I cannot just spin up another new server because the new server that I will spin up will not be equivalent to the server existing server. So this is mutable infrastructure, which is the normal infrastructure. Even for example, in my last company, we are still using mutable infrastructure. We have 50,000, 60,000 virtual machines, all of them mutable. People, we have an entire Linux team, Windows team who are logging into for Windows, they RDP, for Linux, they SSH into systems, and then they make changes. For example, if you have to patch the VM for some critical vulnerability or something like that, you have to patch the VM. In that case also you have to log into the VM, download the patches, and basically do like that. So this is mutable, but the problem, as I told you, is that first of all there is a configuration drift. So you don't know what existed at day zero and what existed now. What is the difference? It's very difficult to replicate another VM like that. It's very difficult to scale up in an auto-scaling kind of environment where you need to create new VMs and deploy your applications on top of that. So now comes that next thing, which is called immutable infrastructure. So in an immutable infrastructure, the basic concept is that I do not log into the VM and do anything. Everything is, say, for example, coded in some sort of maybe either Terraform pack or something. And if I have to make any changes, I make it just like as I make a change in code. I go to my source control, I do a git push. So any change to infrastructure comes with a git push. So I do a git push, change my code. This code in turn maybe will bake a new image, okay, using maybe Packer or AWS EC2 image builder or Azure image builder, and a new image will be created, and then that image will be deployed, and my old VM will be destroyed. So basically, at any point of time, my servers are short-lived. Earlier, if you remember, servers were long-lived. They were right 15, 5 years, 6 years, the server is up. But no, these servers are short-lived. They will go down, they they will again go up. Another server with the same image will go up. And I have a confidence that both the servers are same because both of them came from the same image and came from the same set of steps. So this is a kind of like a immutable. I am not changing anything to my VM. Everything is the same. So this is the main concept, and all of the cloud native applications, for example, are kind of based on this immutable infrastructure. For example, if you see Azure Kubernetes Service Cluster, AKS cluster, and what is happening in an AKS cluster? And behind it, there is basically a Azure auto scaling group, nothing else, right? Now that Azure auto scaling group, when there is, for example, and there is a lot of pressure on your cluster, maybe Azure auto scaling group will add a new VM to the auto scaling group. But where it is getting the image of the VM, it is getting the image of the VM from the uh, same image from which the other VMs were created. So this is the concept. So what I look here is whether the user is aware, whether the interview is aware of these concepts of mutable and immutable, why people are going to immutable infrastructure, why most of the companies are focusing on immutable infrastructure. For example, Terraform, you can create immutable infrastructure using Terraform. And this goes hand in hand with infrastructure as code, because earlier it was very difficult to do this kind of thing, but now you can use Packer and you can write a code which will result in a golden image, and then you can have Terraform which will deploy that image. Okay. So you can have an infrastructure pipeline basically. So whenever, say for example, a new patch is released, Packer will take the patch from the base image, the latest image, then it will encode its the monitoring tools, hardening policies, everything, and then it will create a new image. Okay, and then that new image will be deployed by Terraform to the environment, and then you deploy your application on top of that, maybe as containers, stuff like that. So immutable infrastructure, immutable VMs are the thing, and this go a step further into containerization. So once you go to a cloud native container kind of a world, you don't even think about VMs, right? You are not at all worried about VMs. You just concentrate on your container image. So this is the idea of mutable versus immutable infrastructure. You can read much more here in all of the blogs I have mentioned. These are very nice, and it's very good to understand these concepts so you can speak to your interviewer about these concepts during the interview. And one of these will lead to some other questions. Probably this can lead to a question to DevOps practices. It can lead to a question to containerization. So these are all conversation starters. And what I try to understand in an interviewee for a cloud architect position is whether they understand these concepts in the bigger ecosystem of all the tools and all of the cloud native practices and standards, basically. Thank you, and let me know what is your comments on this topic.